Okay, so today we're going to be finding unknown angle measurements. So just some key information that you need to know. The measurement of a straight line is 180 degrees. The sum of complementary angles is 90 degrees. The sum of supplementary angles is 180 degrees. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Angles that are formed when a parallel line crosses a transversal are congruent if they are on opposite sides of the transversal. So let's talk about what the transversal is. You see here we have parallel lines. We've got this line that goes straight through. This is a transversal, which means angle 1 right here and angle 9. These are congruent based on that transversal. Okay, so look over here, we have another transversal. Okay, and you've got angle 2 and angle 14 are also equivalent based on that. Now, you can also get congruent angles based on the transversal if they are in the same place. They're called corresponding. So corresponding angles here would be angle 2 and angle 12. These would also be the same. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're working through problems. This will help you determine congruent angles. Okay, congruent, of course, does mean that they're the same. They have the same measurement. Okay. All right, so now it's asking us to find the measurement of angle MKL. MKL is this over here. Okay, we can find the measurement based on what we learned yesterday with our angle measurements because we have supplementary angles. We've got this angle here, okay, and then this angle that is here. If we add those together, we would get 180 degrees. So we could do, write an equation, which means we would take and subtract 180 from 47 from 180, and we get 133 degrees. Okay, so our next one, find the measure of angle CEF. Okay, so CEF is this one here. Okay, and again, we've got supplementary angles, okay? So we have this 78 degrees here. We could take our 180, subtract 78. We're going to get 102. Another way we could have done this, though, rather than having to subtract, is if we look at here, okay, this is our transversal, parallel lines with a transversal, which means this angle is also 102 degrees. Okay, so they are congruent. All right, let's move on. Find the value of x. So now we have an equation for an angle. Okay, and if we look here, we have a straight line, which means I can set this up 90 plus x plus 68 equals 180, and then solve it. Okay, first I'm going to combine my like terms, which is going to be these two, 158 plus x equals 180. Then of course I'm going to subtract the 158 from both sides. That's going to leave me x equals 22 degrees. Okay. Alright, let's try another one. Okay, now we're talking about unknown angles and triangles. So the sum of the interior angles, we talked about this earlier, is 180 degrees. And what interior means are these angles that are on the inside. Okay, so this sum would be equal to 180, so we can write that equation. The angle of 1 plus angle of, or plus equation to solve the next problem. Okay, so we have a right triangle. We know that a right triangle means one of our angles is 90 degrees. Okay, so that means it's going to look like this. Okay, so we have a right triangle with one of the angles is 35 degrees, and we're being asked to find the angle of the other. Okay, so one's 35. We're trying to find this one. We'll call it x. Okay, so we write our equation. We know that it's angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3. So 90 plus 35 plus x equals 180. Okay, then we're just going to take and solve it. So I'm going to combine our like terms. So 90 plus 35 is 125 plus x equals 180. So I'm going to subtract. That gives me this angle is 55 degrees. Our next one says the triangle has two 50-degree angles. What is the measurement of the third angle? Okay, so we're going to write our equation. So we have two 50-degree angles, which we know that is 100. That's angle 1 and angle 2. So plus x equals 180. Okay, subtract our 100. Gives us x equals 80 degrees. Okay, let's try another one. So now we're moving into quadrilaterals. The sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. An equation to represent is shown here, which is just angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 equals 360. Okay. So here's our first example. Parallelogram has two 40-degree angles. Find the measurement of the missing angles. Okay, so first of all, parallelogram, of course, has these parallel lines. Okay, and it's telling us we've got two that are 40 degrees. Okay, so when we're writing it out, we've got 40 plus 40, and we've got these are going to be equivalent also because it's a parallelogram. Okay, so we can call these both x, and we get 360 degrees. Okay, so we can combine our like terms. We've got 80 plus 2x equals 360, and then we can take and solve it. Subtract 80. So x is 140. So each of these is 140 degrees. Okay. Next one, a trapezoid has two 35-degree angles and a 100-degree angle. What is the measurement of the fourth? So we've got 35 plus 35, which is 70. We've got another one that's 100, and a fourth one that we don't know. So we know it's going to total 360. Okay, combine our like terms. 170 plus x. Subtract. We get 190 degrees. Okay, moving on, and we're going to talk about polygons. So it's asking us to figure out how to find how many triangles are in these shapes. So we're going to take and divide this into triangles. Okay, so oops, I'm not a very straight drawer. triangles for this one. Okay, I'm just starting each one at the same spot. So it makes it easier. And I get 3 for this one. Okay, so when we're looking at that, what do we notice about the number of triangles compared to the number of sides? Well, we saw that we had 6 sides and we had 4 triangles. And then we had 5 sides and 3. So it's the number of sides minus 2. Okay, so if the sum of the angles is 180 in one triangle, when we're trying to calculate how many interior angles we have in a polygon, we're going to take the number of triangles and multiply that by 180. So for the hexagon, we had 4 triangles. We're going to multiply that by 180. And we know we have 720 degrees. Okay, the pentagon, we had 3. So that gives us 540. Oops. Okay, so we do have an equation for this. Okay, the equation is n minus 2 times 180 gives us x. Okay, that's how we determine how many total interior angles we're going to have. Where n is however many sides we have. So if I put in the 6 here, it's going to give me the 4 times 180, just like we did here. Okay, so we're going to calculate these using this formula. So the first one's 7, so we have 7 subtract 2 times 180 gives us x. So that's 5 times 180, which is 900. Okay, 8 subtract 2 times 180, which is 6 times 180, which is 1080. 10 minus 2 times 180, so we have 8 times 180 is, okay, then we have 10 times 180, so 1800, and then we have 15 minus 2, which is 13 times 180, is 2,340. All right, you guys, if you have questions, let me know. Have a good day.